Greeting, royal queens and kings. It's your host, Queen Tulsa. Welcome back to the Queen Tulsa Show. I will be your captain tonight. I have a co captain, but you'll have to stick around and find out who that is. First and foremost, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I need you to press that subscribe button down below. If you're already subscribed to the show, set your notifications to all so that you don't miss any other hot topics and fire content. And go on and press that like button while you're at it. Queens and Kings on the agenda today, we have all about the tea given me a platform to start off has resurfaced and my growth, where I started from, and those naysayers that are continuing to run a narrative while Black Fathers Matter, Black Lives Matter is in their video. Let's get into it. Never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, have it breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't buy. I can get it to you right, baby. I wanna be healing. I can be real good. Please don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Queen Tulsa show. Tonight, we have a great show for you tonight. Um, Word on the curb is last night I was on a live video, and I was got a message in my chat that another content creator, Miss Barbara, was visiting or making a video about me. So I showed up and pretty much had an engagement. I felt like the engagement went well. Um, I really didn't feel a way. I really didn't feel a way about any of the past people. It's just like they do their thing and I'm gonna do mine, right? And so that's just how I get down, and that's just how I've been rolling, right? So, to say the least, tonight I was able to come on live and address the mess. And then let's see. So these content creators are just out here just like doing the most and continuing to bring up my name and trying to give you guys a rundown on who I am. And these people have not sat down with me in a room, had coffee or breakfast or anything like that, but they swear that they can tell you about me. It's a little it's weird to me, to be honest. But to say the least, when you talk about failed relationships, failed marriages, and things like that, these people are miserable. Trust me, these people are miserable. And it is what it is. So without further ado,
Okay, so without further ado, let me go ahead and bring up the content. You guys just be patient with me. And disclaimer, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit educational or personal use tips of balance in favor of fair use. This video was made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature. Let's get into it.
And it took me a long time to set up and come around here. And this is your courtroom. Thank you guys so much for waiting on me and being in the chat. As you can see, we are talking about Queen Toilet Tucket Tissue Roll Head. Shitty Queen on the docket. Now, Queen Tulsa, how are you? If you'd like to click the link, all you have to do is show your face and explain to the people your personal rebuttal as to why folks run around here lying. Because Judge Evie has studied you. You've been calling and calling like Pookie around here on these YouTube streets. So we will absolutely have you on the docket tonight. Yes. Y'all see what the hat say? Is it trick or treating or trapping? I don't know what the hell's going on. Who's in the building? Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Welcome. What's up, Vegas girl? What's up, Pat? With a C, not to the D-E-F-G. Good evening, Mimi. How are you, love? Man, like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're doing.
So when you talk about these content creators and they supposed to be really doing their content and really striving and thriving, but they are watching my content. So shout out to those that are watching my content, because I've noticed you're putting me like out there more, and it's like, instead of sitting around like hating, you know, asking me how I did it, you know, asking me how I did it. And by asking me how I did it is signing up for my membership, you know, that's what it's about. It's about supporting the content creators, remember? So, yes, I am on different platforms. I am on the Lituation Network. I am growing my platform as well. And so when you talk about making the headlines, I'm okay with making the headlines, but it's like the malicious intent behind it that kind of throws me off. And I'm like, okay, where is this person going with this content? You know what I'm saying? But, I know that everything happens for a reason. And some people I don't know. I've come in contact with people, but I don't know those people. And if I decided to resign from interacting with people, I think that's a choice of mine and I have that right. But the people are watching. How you doing?
This in fun. You know how she talks? After being married, I don't know what the hell happened. Doing this in fun. You know how she talks? After being buried, I don't know what the hell happened. I need.
You see, they are copying my style. They're trying to mimic how I speak. You know what I'm saying? And it's all good. It's all good because it makes me feel good. I'm reaching somebody. It's not just going through deaf ears. And that's just what it is. All right. Move them right on out the way. All right. Hopefully they got the message.
This will happen while I am live. And it's so unfortunate that I'm going to have to decline the call. Listen, the judge is very, very busy around here. Yes, indeed. I will take that call tomorrow. Because listen, when I'm live, we live. And I do apologize. I'm going to put it on. Do not disturb. Now, what we do around this courtroom, now we wasn't going to give Miss Politician any clout. Lord have mercy. We have tried and tried and tried, but every time we turn around, Lord have mercy. Miss Tissue, just can't keep folk names out of her mouth. Now, it's one thing to do content, aka content, but it's another to drag right on in somebody's shit. Now, just in case you don't know.
It's March Madness, baby. I'm driving everywhere. I don't have no break. Not even an e-break. It's March Madness. Get into it. See, they be trying to keep up with me. You can't keep up with me. I be swerving. Swerving in the lane. But let's get into it.
And the fact that she gets. Now listen, get your coins by any means necessary. Grow. Go. I don't give a damn. But I'm going to show you guys. Thank you. Please subscribe to the main channel. Nobody likes me over there, but I don't get you. Judge is in the building. A lot of you support me. I'm just joking. I have a lot of fun. Okay, it should be alright. But just in case you're not familiar with how Miss Queen Tucky, Politician, she's a victim. But in everybody's damn business. Now, Talk Chasing at his finest, running them up in these YouTube streets. Also, another thing before we let our guests.
And I will continue to run amongst this. I will continue to run amok. I need you to keep watching. I need you to, you know what I'm saying, like, keep going with your fake support. Because, sis, you said that you was going to support me. When all that happened, you said that you were going to send me a donation to my GoFundMe. Well, sis, I never received it. But you're so high and mighty. But sis, let's take it back to, didn't you say that your homie had reached out to you because, people had hacked his webcam to see what he was looking at, but y'all weren't friends. Y'all got into like this big whole thing on YouTube, right? And you aired them out. And now y'all are friends, like here and there, everywhere.
I wasn't prepared. I didn't know he was going to be here, but you're always welcome. But one more thing, okay? Make sure you guys are thumbs up the video, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, thumbs up my video. Like, share, and subscribe. It's March Madness. Get into it.
We are officially joined in a judge and jury with Judge Evie, where we address the mess now, okay? So you can find her probably currently watching, okay? And she'll get up there and say she don't know so-and-so and ho. Our next guest, in fact, was on the channel last night, and I'm going to direct you over there because that video was hilarious. Our guest that's going to pop up in here read them folks on their own channel. And then Miss Tuckett, toilet tissue. Hey, what's up, 901? Hey, baby. What's up, baby? Professional. And let's be clear. We ain't gonna hate on nobody for the way they try to climb up the mountain.
Sound like you're doing a lot of hating to me, sis. What's kind about it? Sounds like you're doing a lot of hating to me, sis. You know what I'm saying? Send a girl a cash app. I know you're not Bush watching. But this is what I really want to get to. Okay, so this person wants to be my friend. Like, girl, we are not in elementary school. We are not in elementary school. We're not in middle school. We're not kids. If I don't want to be a friend, I just don't want to be a friend. Accept it.
God damn it. You're going to slide down there eventually, according to how you get up there. Lord have mercy. Because it's going to be a damn old mud slide. While this judge and jury judge, if it's concerned. But let's be clear. All about the tea, gay queen, tissue, shit, tissue, toilet roll, fucking head. Oh, Lord. I got something. It's very hard to choose one in this court of law. As you can see, in God we trust. But all about the tea, try to give.
Interesting fact. She says, you know, in God we trust. Is that all you trust? You know what I'm saying? Because, sis, like, you got Black Fathers Matter, Black Lives Matter. Well, when do they matter? When do they matter? And then you got old boy with the sideburns keep trying to be my friend. Like, it's not going down. Look how evil and possessed that dude looks. No, ma'am. Not going down that way. That dude looks possessed. And then you're sitting over there with Black Fathers Matter, Black Lives Matter. I'm a little thrown off. You know, y'all took time out to make a video to say what? Oh, she's a cloud chaser, she's this, she's that. Can't say I lied. But can we say y'all lied? Can we say y'all switched up on people and aired their dirty laundry out? March Madness hoes. And this is how it's going to go. This is my show, and I'm going to run it the way that I want to run it. Now get into the content.
Queen tissue. Now, the problem was right there when it was time for her close-up. Lord, whatever the hell she had wrote down. Y'all see, you write scripts around here. Can y'all see that? Lord have mercy. Talking points. So you won't lose track, train of thought, whether you're drinking your red cup, who gives a damn? Okay? Shout out to my girl DYS. But anyway, you script it.
No. I'm good. You know, y'all are the red cup handlers. Give me a glass. You know, give me a styrofoam cup. I'm good. Because we already know y'all crew, you know, with the red cups, like to give confessionals, like to take the mic for like 45 minutes and cry and shit. At least I have fun with the mic. You know, it's not a sad sob story, and I don't have everybody in the crowd depressed. That's why I don't watch, because y'all's content is depressing. It's not good for my mental health. It's just not.
Script. YouTube is entertainment. And anytime you don't have to write a script, this ain't the platform for you. You might need to visit the mental health institute. Right? Now, every time Queen Tucky got over there.
So all the while she's saying this, oh, you might need to go check into a mental facility. Black Fathers Matter, Black Lives Matter. So when is it ever fun to play about mental health, sis? Help me understand, because like you say, you're a 50-something-year-old woman and you should know better. You know what I mean? You should know better. You're almost pushing 60. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the examples of when I say the generations failing the generations to come. This is what they have to look up to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
Around there with Miss Oil about tea. And shout out to her because she's back. Let's be clear. Ain't my business. Mind your business. Everybody got their own business. But she did a update. Got over 60K views. So let's go.
So why are you talking about All About the Tea? All About the Tea has nothing to do with this. Yes, she's back. She's been in my chat. She's thriving. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and drop the latest article from a website called All About the Tea, so you guys can stay updated on all of the updated news and articles. Okay, which article should I give you guys? Let me give you this one. I'll give you guys this article. All right, let me copy the link and shout out to a website called All About the Tea that is providing this article. And very controversial right now. And let's just go ahead and get over here. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. One second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up this article. Okay. All right. The View dismisses Donald Trump's family man defense in Stormy Daniels' hush money case, posted March 17, 2023 at 11:11 a.m. Oh, child, this is a lot. Um, Actually, would we like to listen to the article or should I read it? The View dismisses Donald Trump's family man defense in Stormy Daniels' hush money case. The co hosts of The View laughed their way through a hot topics discussion about the potential criminal charges former President Donald Trump might face any day now during Wednesday's broadcast. The daytime panelists mocked Trump's response after one of his lawyers made the rounds on television, alleging that the public had the wrong idea about why he paid the hush money to Stormy Daniels. Trump's attorney Joe Tacopina recently told George Stephanopoulos that his client paid out the cash to prevent something coming out false but embarrassing to himself, his family, his young son. The businessman turned politician has denied having an affair with the adult film star. Look at Stormy. It's the Botox for me. Um, it's not directly related to the campaign, the lawyer said on Good Morning America Monday. He made this with personal funds to prevent something coming out that was false but embarrassing to himself, his family, his young son. The women of The View burst out laughing, but Sonny Hostin gave Trump credit for his creative excuse. The family man defense for Donald Trump, that's a nice stretch. That's a pretty big stretch, she said, of the Melania defense, named to describe Trump's alleged decision to pay out the hush money from his personal funds to avoid upsetting his wife. Sonny opened, I don't think Melania wants anything to do with the man, which prompted audience applause. Alyssa Farah Griffin said that she didn't understand why Trump's lawyers were giving interviews to various journalists, including Ari Melber. She added that Melber handed the attorney his backside during their sit down. Griffin noted that Griffin noted this is not going to work in your favor. You're losing your case by going on TV. Joy Bayer chimed in. He was sweating like a pig. Hostin, still baffled by Trump's line of defense, asked, how do you argue that Trump cares so much about his family that he's a family's man? Behar sarcastically quipped, there's something so touching about it, isn't there? Whoopi Goldberg wrapped the segment commenting, the people who still believe that he got you, that he got, Gipes somehow will still believe that he cared enough. Hold on. Whoopi Goldberg wrapped the segment commenting, the people who still believe he got, gypped somehow will still believe that he cared enough about his wife to pay that money from his personal funds. I just don't understand. If that was the case, then why all the suffrage? Why is Michael Cohen paying for it? Goldberg later issued an apology on Twitter for using the term gypped. The daytime host said in a posted video, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you're a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't. I should have said cheated, but I used another word, and I'm really, really sorry. Some insider some consider the slang term for being cheated or defrauded an offensive slur due to the word's association with Romney people, aka gypsies. The View airs on weekdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on ABC. Stay connected with All About the Tea on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and also send them tips. Okay, so shout out to a website called All About the Tea. because that's where I got my opportunity here on the YouTube. Oh, we have company. Associate Minister and Reserve Deacon Mr. Terry Jones says, "Hello, Queen Tulsa. Good evening. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the show." Now, I want to dive in to, a video. And when we talk about, you know, oh, you burnt the bridge. Oh, you did this. Oh, you did that. Like, really, sis, no bridge were burnt. Okay. This is the thing. They sit, they watch, they plot. Let's get into it. Okay, so give me 1 second. I'm actually pulling up the footage. So y'all get into this. This is from my video. Okay. Me and Marcella had a run in because Marcella always likes to stick her big ass nose up into somebody's business when I feel like she should really be over there taking care of her children and her family life and waiting on the next round of kids that are going to come through her door. Okay. So let's be clear and let's keep it real. Marcella is just an old miserable bitch that just has nothing to do with her time. She has all these funds and she's supposed to live this whole grand life. And the woman is always up in somebody else's business being miserable. I mean, the woman mocked me. Look at her looking stupid on this photo with the all-star rejects. Look at them. I'm a star. Who sits up and take their time out to be someone? It wasn't even Halloween. The only time people really have an excuse to dress somebody like someone is on Halloween. People dress up like Michael Jackson. People dress up like Madonna. But guess what? These people really, really, really are doing what's necessary. And that's keeping me in their mouths because they can't have me in their spaces. I'm not interested. Don't want to be. These are malicious people. This is my thing. These people created a funeral for me, a whole fucking ritual. You think I want to be friends with these people? I gave these people chances. I have forgiven them. And what did they do? Still be the same way. They have not changed. They have not changed. I mean, this woman, they look so stupid. And the lady with the red and black hair, she's so ignorant. She doesn't even know the history about Route 66. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about the dude up there that's in the wig and things like that, my thing is, why do you have wigs? Are you a part-time lady on the weekends? That's what it's given. It's so interesting that these people have props right at their fingertips. You get what I'm saying? It's the beards. That's the popular thing. That's not my thing. Well, when you ask, are these people on this flyer still friends? Are they still friends? Are they still buddy buddy? Do they still chat on the phone? Do they still pass back messages of drama? What are they doing? Don't know. Don't care. Don't know them. Ran into them. Don't know them. don't know them. Okay. And they're mad about it. Don't get upset because you don't get no glory. Every chance. Look at this old woman at the bottom. That's Marcella. Let me move my banner right quick. Grown woman takes care of individuals that come through her house. She's like an emergency shelter, pretty much. I would not want my kids in a house with a demon like that. The way she clowns online, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Just looks stupid. All these people on this screen created a funeral for me. I'm nobody. Why y'all taking out y'all time to address me? Remember, I'm nobody. I'm the real star. A star was born. Y'all are mad about it. I can see why you're mad. I'm not angry. I just don't want nothing to do with you. And you all have to accept that. I want nothing to do with you. March Madness. Let's get into this content. And there was a tip that Marcella had given me. She said, I guess she has felt in the spirit or, that I was maybe going through something. And here Marcella is. And she said, y'all go on a date. Y'all go on a date. And we went on a
I'm
date.
at one of my kids' appointment. I just dropped them off at therapy.
Okay, hello. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. So let's just start here. I just dropped my kid off at therapy. How do you treat them after therapy? Do you treat them like they have a disability? Because you make it very clear online that you're in every little gathering, got every little post going up. Oh, chicken poop. I bet you wish you had a chicken right now. This is the thing. When you talk about the older people in our generation and they are such I see why her daughter, feels a way about her. I see why her daughter falls out. I see why her daughter falls out. She has a problem. This woman, she just, it's like some people in life, if there's nothing going on, they will create something to go on. She's one of those people. She want to be the it girl, a socialite. Why don't you host shit for people your own age? Just leave the young people alone. You're a cancer to the community. To be honest, I know her type. People have money. Oh, I have this. Oh, I got that. You're not happy. You're not happy. This is my thing. The lady can't even cook. The lady can't even cook. Like, while you're peddling around through my videos, you need to be peddling around for recipes so you can cook healthy meals for your family. But no, you want to make up for the days that you missed out on. Not my issue, madam. Has nothing to do with me. It shows what type of person you are. You don't move me, and neither do any of your friends and the group texts and chats that y'all are in. Y'all don't move me. Okay? I'm thriving and surviving. Y'all wanted me to quit YouTube 2 years ago. Look at me now. Look at me now. Oh, she can't read. She can't do this. She can't do that. Look at me now. Want to talk about Monica from All About the Tea giving me an opportunity? She gave a lot of people opportunities. She's the reason why some people know you. Let's talk about it. They mad. They pressed. Because I was supposed to have a seat on the panel. But guess what? I'm going to tell y'all what happened. I'm going to be very vulnerable. When they heard, because they wanted whoever they wanted to come up to be a guest, which was So Deb. But So Deb, he just wasn't a good fit, right? And so when Ples said me, that ruffled their feathers, and that's when all the chaos started. I'm going to just be honest. That's what it is. That's what happened. And if you want to do your research, go back to the videos when I would come up, check the body language of everybody else. Check everybody's body language. But let's get into La Cella's shenanigans. She wants to be the peacemaker. This is supposed to be a mature woman in the village that's supposed to be setting an example. But guess what she says? I got the gossip. I got the gossip, y'all. I got the gossip. I don't want to hear the gossip. That's why I don't go to her channel. Tired of your gossip. Tired of your lies. Darlene Span says, blessing to you, Queen Tulsa, and everyone. Thank you so much. Let's get into this content. Can you hear me?
You're frozen?
Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah, you was. Now you're not.
Okay. So no, I was just letting the people know. Thank you for coming up, and really drive safe out there. Make sure you got your seatbelt on.
Oh, I'm not even a mile from my house. My son is 15, so I have to check him in therapy, and then I come back and get him.
Okay. So yeah, I was just letting the people know that where we were in our journey. I was letting them know that you were the only person that I really let into my life like that. You met my husband, and you also gave me great marital advice, and you told us to date. And once we got on that date, it was amazing. Like, that was something that we really needed. So when I refer to you as the mother of the village, you are a mother in our village because it takes a village, right?
Right.
And
but let me tell your followers something. I want them to know that everybody can make a mistake. But if you come back and correct that mistake, and like I plan to have a relationship with you is not just for YouTube. Like everything that we went through, I still never talked about you personally, like your personal life, because
Right.
I admired your marriage and everything, and you was trying to do something, and like when you was on the first show we was on, you came up there and you bought the tea. You was doing your thing and you were new at it. And now I have watched you. I've watched you over this years, and you may not have known I was on your page, but I said, you are dynamic. Now you done found your noose, and you are bringing.
Well, here, let me make a correction. I did not find my noose. I found my niche. See, I pay attention to everything. That's probably what she wanted to put around my neck. Then she says, I never talked about your husband. You see how people say what they won't do and what they haven't done? They're letting you know I do have that little information. There's just a little insurance without saying it. Darlene says haters don't realize that they give you a blessing to motivate when they think you are trying to hurt they're trying to hurt you. Exactly. I just I'm all about second chances. Y'all know half of my story. I've shared, I've been homeless and things like that. So I've been without. I'm not perfect, let's just say that. But I'm not out here, oh, I got the gossip and this, that, and the third. Like, I'm really out here making I'm a household name. When you say Queen Tulsa, people know who Queen Tulsa is now. These people they went so low as to trying to they made a funeral trying to take me out of my misery, and I overcome that because they don't have a say so over my life, and that's what they fail to realize. I don't care how much magic they play with. I don't care how many voodoo priests they go to. Guess what? Every knee must bow. I got people, listen here. Speaking on the queen is not a good look, okay? Let's talk about Nosy Ho. Let's get into that. Because Marcella Booth Davis was with Nosy Ho in that whole sham investigation, right? With Monica. I mean, this woman was in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, doing the most. I mean, she kept it going. I mean, she was all down for it. They were making fun of me. Oh, you a pick me, you this, you that. Call me whatever you want. I don't care about none of that. Just if you don't like me and stuff, leave me out your content. If I'm making content, I'm I'm responding. You want to put me in the headlines? Okay, now I'm in there. Let me respond. It's a problem, huh? When I do it. But when you do it, it's all good. You're supposed to get a pass. I'm supposed to excuse you. But how long am I going to excuse you for? How long am I going to excuse you for? Like I said, just because we stop talking or we don't, roll or whatever, I'm not, you haven't gained an enemy. You have not gained an enemy with me, and if I see you in a space, we don't rock, you just stay in your lane. I'm going to stay in my lane. Be an adult about the situation. Don't try to make a situation out of nothing just because you see me pop up in the chat. You know, you have no self-control. If I anger you that much, I'm controlling you. So I'm controlling a lot of these people because they're angry. He who angers you controls you. I'm controlling a lot of people. That's why I gotta go in for March Madness. Let's take a quick intermission, guys. Hit my cash app, please. All right, let's get back into the content. Before we do that, let's see. Toria Williams is in the building. She said, "What Trump fails to realize is," and hello, Toria. Stormy had taped phone calls, pictures, videos of them together. He has a affair with her. And how does she know what personal parts of his body look like in private parts? Trump is supposed to be indicted on Tuesday. The hush money was paid by his lawyer at the time to shut her up before the election, and Trump gave him the money back. Then his lawyer was charged and went to jail for it. Well, thank you so much for that. We're past that part in the commentary. Right now, we are at the part of um, members of the older generation that are supposed to be making a difference with the younger generation. I know that you fit in that particular group, and I want to thank you for not getting into the mess and really being unbiased and supporting who you do and not being messy with it. So thank you, Toria, for that. Let's give it up for Lysella. Welcome to the stage, Lysella Booth Davis.
And you got to keep bringing it. But it's not hard to get caught up on beefs on YouTube. It's not hard. And what we got to do now is identify when people are having problems. The first thing you don't do is you don't pick sides. That would keep you out of the beef. And you let the person know if they give you an ultimatum, like if you're going to talk to Marcella, don't talk to me. You got to choose you, whatever. And I got caught up in that twice.
Yeah.
And you know what? And then,
Let's be honest, it was more than twice. It's the pathological lion Leo. Ugh, those lion Leos, child. They will. I see. I gotta calm my nerves. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just, like, just be truthful. Be truthful, dog. Like, you ain't gotta be all like that. Let me check my Cash App to see where we are on the Cash Apps. Okay. Baby, the Cash Apps is given. We have a 5Go Cash App. If you guys want more of this commentary, I need a Cash App. Definitely need a Cash App. So what I'll do is I'll put up my beautiful banner. And this is how you can Cash App. I'm not gonna open up the phone lines tonight. So we'll take an intermission until our Cash App dings off. Here, let me post it in the chat. Okay, so let me pin the Cash App. There we go. So the link is pinned in the chat. Okay, so we had a comment. Toya says, when you ignore them, it makes them mad. Do not even say their name. Let it fly. You have good things going on. What God has for you, nobody can stop. Absolutely. But and this is the thing. I could go in, but I'm just giving the people a vision or a timeline of events and why I don't care to engage with these people, because I know who they are. This is like the type of time that they're on, and they, people that are just now coming in that don't know about these people, I'm just informing them of, hey, this is what you get. Like, like this is the situation. Like, I'm not interested in them. They want to be my friend. I don't want to be their friend. And I want them to let it go.
being on this YouTube, I start putting my Bible down and not, following what I believe. And when I got messed up, I'm the only one that came and like apologized to anybody I offended. And I didn't feel like I needed to do it, just on my post, and then they don't know. I was planning on coming on last night while you was on, but you were, you had entertainment going on, and I didn't want to disrupt your, I didn't want to disrupt what you were doing. So I watched you a little bit until I went to bed. But I
Oh,
just want you to know I've missed you. I mean, I watch your show. I still was watching your show. And so, the
I
good
miss
people
you
in your
too.
life.
Story of my life. All of my exes miss me too. Because when you're a good person, people remember how you treated them, like I still don't I don't have a beef. I don't have a hate. I don't have a nothing. I just don't want to deal with them people. Look at it like flattery. They're giving people a whole new reason to come check you out. Look at it like that. Yes. But I know that they are doing something for me, but to give back, I want them to get themselves together. Like they have not changed. They have not changed. And I want to encourage change for them. If you guys seen, you know, because some people believe different, the higher power, God, or your alma, the universe. If you've seen how I've been changing, why wouldn't you want to jump on that bandwagon and change for the benefit of for you? Why wouldn't you want to reap those benefits? Darlene says, yes, Lord, you do, because you are so respectful when you speak your piece, and it makes them mad because the energy they bring you, you don't bow down to their madness. Absolutely not. I told you, I know that type. I am waiting on my Cash App card. I have been hacked, but I got you as soon as it arrives. All right. Shout out to you for that. Well, now we can move on into okay, so which content did I want to play? Last night there was a live that I was on, and shout out to Miss Barbara. Because Miss Barbara, you know, she got to experience me for me, and it was commentary that she was doing. And shout out to my daddy. He will be um live tonight. He was exposed today, but we'll get into that on his live at, let me see, it's 1 a.m. Central for me. So that's like an hour and a half from now. But yeah. Hey Sonya, how are you? She says, hey everybody. Toria Williams says, we must just pay for our enemies. They have issues. You have a whole show on a growing network. Do they? No. No. Do they? No, they don't. Exactly. And my thing is, I want to, like I've invited them over. I've been telling them about it, but I'm not in the rear kissing business. They want to say, oh, she likes to kiss. Da da da. No, I march to the beat of my own drum, and I don't need a crowd to motivate me to do anything. We come in this world by ourselves. We got to go by ourselves. But while you're on Earth, try to make a difference. Try to make a difference in your community. Hey, Sonya. She says, hey, Toria. Now, last night, Miss Barbara was live about me. And child, I must say, it was an interesting engagement to say the least. I was just doing the show and somebody was like, well, what'd you do to Barbara? Because Barbara's live. And so I was like, what? Really? She's live? And so we went over. And so, I hit the panel. So I jumped off of our live, our live stream, and I went over and jumped on her panel. And this is how it went. this out.
Okay, because I'm not trying to call my sister outside her name.
Okay, here, hold on. Let me do this. Boom. And sisters, this is how you show up and stand up for us. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so let me play it. Let's see. We're going to go over here to Miss Dean's house.
Hardest thing you did was say tonight, you got to give me $20 if you want to talk to me. I was proud of that move. I was proud of that move that you made for yourself. Now get your own damn channel, because I wanted you to know I would have sent you $100 if that was your channel. Get your channel tomorrow and I will send you $100. Somebody send her this shit. You're like, okay, I'm gonna let you up. I'm gonna let you Queen Tulsa, I'm not gonna let your ass up yet because you didn't let me up. Okay, on your shit. But I want to see what this lady got to say.
Hi, what's going on?
Hey, I'm just trying to, I really admire Queen Tulsa, and I'm very disappointed in her.
Why is that?
Because I took her to be a strong Black woman to make change for peace on this earth, not havoc.
Well, I understand that, but it's kind of hypocritical, like in her sense, when she trolls people and is the chicken neck that she is. And in
No,
same
I'm not trying to
token,
call her outside. I'm not trying to call her outside her name. That's not what we're not going to do. We're not going to call her
yeah, but she has done this to a lot of people.
Let me let her up to defend herself on that. Okay? Because I'm not trying to call my sister outside her name. I'm just trying to check her for being tacky.
Okay.
Welcome, Tulsa. Welcome, Queen.
Hi, Miss Barbara. Hi, Queen Barbara. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I was on your page tonight, and you totally ignored me. I tried to have a conversation with you, and I've been dropping by your page several nights, and I've been very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Oh, wow. Tell me, well, I do apologize about that. I don't want you to feel that way. And hello, other panelists. But yeah, go ahead and sound off and tell me what happened, and hopefully we can come up with a resolution.
I took you to be a positive, strong Black woman for peace. And,
yes,
when I first seen you, I feel like crying because I'm serious about this. Hold on, let me get myself together. When I first seen you, you used to have pretty backgrounds of, car dealerships. And I didn't really know about the backgrounds at first. She works in a car dealership. Oh, she a fly bitch. Wow. But then I know it was, a facetious background that you can put up. Devil's World, and I seen you putting your input in, and I respected your input always. But when I seen you, Cole, just make a whole video dogging Cheryl, I'm like, hold up, what is this shit about? I didn't say nothing. I'm like, oh shit, damn. She was just on Cheryl panel. Cheryl was just being nice and respectable to her. How could she be that type of person? Hold up, let me see what's going on here. So then I seen who your father was. I'm like, oh God, bad influence. Oh my God, what's going on? And I just want you not to get buried by somebody that's out there dusting away their 100 views, their 100,000 subscribers. You understand? Because if you know about business, most of the people that follow Wendy Williams and Howard Stern are haters. You understand? You let them keep coming back until they learn. You understand? All of that, that's the way we go. That shit is ridiculous. You getting away $1 million. You getting away $1 million each time you do that. You don't know when somebody will say, damn, I got a blessing. Let me bless this man. Damn, let me see what he talking about. You don't just go cold insulting people, insulting your subscribers and everything. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, do you mind if I show my subscribers our conversation? Because
I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I don't mind at all.
So their part, I do want to say this, like, I do apologize for offending you. You know, I don't want to make you feel away, and I don't get the right to say how you're supposed to feel.
Sister, you didn't wait. Let me
Due to my
correct this.
actions.
You hurt my feelings because you are a strong black woman. You understand?
Yes.
It hurt my feelings to see the direction you was going in because I had a lot of faith in you as a strong black woman. You know, I didn't know that
What
you
direction?
was a backstabber, that you would you know, like Jag, the way she had to check you tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like things like
Well,
that.
see, this is the thing, Miss Barbara. When it comes to Cheryl, you know, Cheryl has misgendered me. Cheryl's husband has said malicious things about me. They taunted me when I was assaulted, and her husband goes on his panels and these rants, calling me out of my name that does not reflect who I am. And so it's just when you see me doing that, it's calling a spade a spade. You know, my husband isn't in my room looking for wigs to try on or, you know, pantyhose to put on to entertain or put my pearls on to get in front of camera to entertain. You know, he's also not on the phone late night hearing another man's, you know, stories about how he had to do what he had to do behind closed doors, you know, in the prison system. So it was just letting them know I'm not the girl that you want to see when it comes to that. Because we can go back and forth about it. But just
out of all fairness, one second, sweetheart. Let me me and Tulsa's having a conversation right quick. Let me just talk to my sister right here. Tulsa, out of all fairness, let me first say this. Perry is freaking hilarious and funny as hell. And I'm jealous. He's so damn funny. I am jealous. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I thought I was the fairest of them all that could read people and make them laugh. He is hilarious. And he's only doing it because those people came and disrespected him. The way that man that was in prison, that thing was disrespecting his wife. He had, or I applaud him the way he handled that situation. I applaud him the way he handled that situation. And the way people been disrespecting him, I applaud. He came to people nice at first. They came for him first. Don't come for me unless I send for you. And I would not come for him. Now, as far as him making mistakes, misgendering you sometimes, that's because he's a heterosexual and he really don't know the pronouns tight like that. So he makes
mistakes. Miss Barbara, are you letting your husband put wigs on and put your pearls on and put your pantyhose on and put your kidney heels on?
He was making fun. It was funny. He got like 7,000-8,000. Those people that he was doing it to deserved it because of the way they
asking, like, but are you okay with your man trying on your wig, stretching your wigs out that big old head, trying on your panties? I mean, getting up and dragging your house, having a whole drag show to perform.
First of all,
I'm just curious.
Those cheap wigs was not hers. She has human hair and very expensive wigs. Those $2 wigs he bought in the store with his own money.
There's an echo, Queen Barbara.
I don't know why. How can I get rid of that echo, baby?
You gotta drop that person because they're like they have two devices. I don't know if they're recording their conversation, but
no, I don't record, honey. That's you. Can you hear me, Miss Barbara? I just want to say this before I leave.
Okay.
Tulsa, I don't know how to take you. We have our run-ins, on Storm Show. And speaking of Storm, it seems that you and your crew against us and our crew are very throw rocks and hide your hands. I was on Station Head tonight, which I guess I've been blocked. But it seems that Trees, Sean, King Dusty, and all the rest of these people that you associate with, they tried Sweet Pea, me, dear Yvette. They tried us, but they can't take us. But I see what
Who
I
who are
see what
you?
I see what Miss Barbara is saying. My name is Sparkle. You know who I am, girl. Don't try it. But anyway,
No,
girl.
don't
Like
know her.
now, I have a question for you, Miss Barbara, because it seems that
Yes, darling. Okay, take
you
it easy. I want to hear your question. You can
okay.
relax, breathe.
Yes, it
Let's
seems
talk.
that you and her have issues in copycat, or well, not copycat, but you respond to Hear Her TV. Now we are the Red Cup Contender crew. They including this Queen Tulsa, and I'm being respectful. They are the regurgitators. They go and they file false complaints. They do
Right,
things
exactly. Oh, they are disgusting. Hear Her TV.
exactly.
That bitch is disgusting.
Well, I
And
can't.
then let me tell you something. And let me tell you something. When she had that witch had somebody on her panel telling
I have two things.
telling the police, hold on, telling the police that Jaguar husband had a gun. She was literally giving these officers a right to shoot and kill on sight. That was the most disgusting shit I ever heard.
Well, I haven't heard of this. That the person
I
right.
made that bitch cry. Let me tell you something. I made bitches cry because what would have happened if Jack would have killed me, deleted me? Bitch, you just would have been deleted. Stop messing with people. Well, I don't
Ray,
know.
I don't think that it's okay
How
to
did she
call
get
us.
Hold on. She got disconnected. I don't know.
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. Hi. All right, but I understand that. I don't.
Leave? Did you
I don't
want to
feel.
leave? You want to
No,
leave?
no. I was trying to see if I had two things up, but I don't.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out because Hear Her is my sister, and we react to things. But Queen Tulsa and her dirty crew have been doing things and hiding their hands. Now, I was in the building when you made your story about the 42-year-old guy, and that was a lot for those women to take. But the same situation with Queen Tulsa. Queen Tulsa told people she has had good advice from Speaks with Your Girl Marcella, and she has had good advice from people. She called Lavon's Library
You
my
don't know
son
her.
a drug
Don't know
addict.
her.
You saying you don't know these people, you dirty chicken neck, but you're always in our bushes, you're in our panels, you're hiding, and you choose when you want to associate, just like you call Jennifer Love Stewart a racist, but meanwhile, your Billy Bob Thornton is a Caucasian
It
man.
is.
Nobody respected him. Okay, we didn't drag him. I'm being dragged right now in the white supremacist racist group on Facebook.
Congratulations.
Trees, you're freak, you're transvestite who does not have any kids or custody of her kids, has caused me a sex offender and does not know me. Meanwhile, she has the diagnosis and can never get cleared, okay? So I don't understand what's the problem, you and your dirty
She's
crew.
not here to defend herself. I don't think
I
you're
don't care
supposed to
where
talk
she's at.
about
She
that
has not
woman.
faced me in 5 months. That
That's a black
transvestite
woman.
has not
That's a
faced
black
me in
woman.
5 months. The actions are
That's a black woman,
transvestite-like.
friend.
Like yours, you're transvestite like, but I'm giving you the respect
Oh,
because this is what y'all do. Y'all act like
oh.
freaks and F words, but then when it comes to standing up to the Red Cup contenders, if we body your asses, then it's a problem. Just like
Don't know him.
confused,
Don't
dirty
know him.
All right,
cells.
hold on, sisters. What I want us to do, this is what I would like
Yeah,
to
I
see.
don't know him.
You see how you and my sister Tulsa has a problem? I would like for us to resolve these problems
Queen
and
Barbara,
let
I
us
don't have a
all get along.
problem. I don't know.
Obviously, y'all do.
Listen,
You and your crew
Queen
have a
Barbara, me and
problem
you were
because
up
y'all
here
are
having a
recording
Wait,
great
hold
people.
on, one at a
Y'all
conversation.
are
time. One at a
dragging
time.
people. You
Queen
Hold on.
freak.
Barbara,
Kay, can I
Transvestite.
ask you to let me hear
I'll go
Tulsa out?
first.
Kay,
I'll go first.
can I hear Tulsa out, please? And then I want to hear what you got to say, darling, please.
You
Go
and I,
ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead,
you and
Tulsa.
I were speaking. I don't know where the frustration and anger is coming from this beautiful black lady. You know, her picture's pretty. You know, I've never seen her before. You know, I don't know who she is. And for her to say that she has a problem with me, um, that kind of, you know, I don't know what to say about that. I don't
Okay,
know
Miss.
her.
I'm
And I
sorry,
don't
Miss
know.
Barbara. She knows who
I
I
wasn't
am.
done. I wasn't
I'm
done,
sorry,
honey.
but you've been on my
I don't.
channel. You know who I
I don't.
am. You got the king dirty
Ma'am,
neck.
ma'am, I didn't
Okay, you
interrupt
got the
you.
king dirty neck, and
Okay, I'm
you're
gonna
sick.
mute.
No, you don't have to mute. Go ahead, keep talking. I just want to let you know that Miss Barbara, she knows who I am. So that's what it is. This is what they do. This is their ruse, or they need attention. These are the rejects that never got attention. See, I was
Okay,
very
but
popular.
this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do, ladies. We're going to act like ladies. And what I want to see is you and Tulsa come to some kind of understanding.
Well, we
So that,
tried on
no, wait a
another
minute.
content
So
creator
next
channel.
time, hold on. Let me just finish saying.
Go
So next
ahead.
time Tulsa has a live, you can respectfully converse with her. I have
Well,
a live.
actually, I'm sorry,
Respectfully
but she blocked me on every page that I tried to come up on to act,
Okay,
to show her.
maybe she'll consider unblocking you. Just
Well, I
ask
don't know, because she does things for
Tulsa,
attention,
what
so I
she's
don't know.
saying is she wants to get along with you and she wants to be your friend, but you're not trying to be her friend.
Well,
No,
see,
what I'm
this is
saying.
the thing. Oh,
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Let you go.
well, this is the thing. Like, I'm being a lady, and I'm not interrupting anybody, and I'm just here to have an engagement. That's what I come here for. But all the name calling and back and forth, that's something that I'm not going to do.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I
I don't know
apologize for
I
that,
didn't hear
but
the name.
when you act out of character, I have to call, like you said, you call a spade a spade. Now, Perry and Sherelle, when that came for you and sent for your burial, like the other people did, Nosy Ho and the rest of the people, if you don't one day show that you're a lady, and the next day you act like a camel, I mean, it's just, no pun intended, but
Ma'am,
it's like, come
you
on.
haven't even, ma'am, you're trying to compare me to animals, and you have been
Listen, I'm
wrong
not
with
trying to
me
compare you. I said
when,
your actions. I didn't say you were an animal. I said your actions. Act like
okay,
animals do in your
can I
crew.
talk? Can I
Go ahead,
talk?
sweetie. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're comparing me to animals, and if you're wanting to move forward, your communication is off, and this is why you are
And my
blocked because your
communication is very up to par,
see,
honey. I said your actions.
I can't even finish my
Go
conversation with
ahead,
her.
finish. But
I'm
you're
gonna
wrong. You're
mute.
wrong.
K Bless, can you please let her finish saying
Go
what
ahead.
she's
Go ahead. She can finish. You can mute me. You can mute me, Miss Barbara. Mute me. You can mute me,
No,
and
I'm
I
not
will.
gonna mute you. Mute yourself. We all grown here. You can mute yourself, please.
Okay.
And
This
Tulsa,
is
please,
crazy.
you know we back out here, and sometimes it's hard for us to be quiet. So try to help us out. Come on, say what you gotta say, baby.
Okay, well, I'm not a confrontational person, and this Kayla person is very confrontational, and that's not the vibe. That's not what I'm on, and I don't know her little friends. I don't know what she's talking about. I just do my content. Miss Barbara, now Miss Kayla, I have
Are you still
not
there, Tulsa?
interrupted you. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
I hear you. I didn't interrupt you either. I was talking about something else, but you trying to make it seem like somebody's after. Oh, well, she's trying to make it seem like Miss Barbara, somebody's after her, and she doesn't know us. But meanwhile, she's in our bushes, and this is the throw your rocks, hide your hand, dirt thing that she does, and it's ridiculous. You know us. You're in our panels. We tried this before when I ate you up the first
Don't
time
know
on
you.
Storm Show. Okay, Miss
Okay,
Thing,
so hold on. Let me ask you
you don't. I don't know.
a question. KBs, let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
First
this
of all, how to
baby.
pronounce your name?
My name is
KBs.
Sparkle. Yes, I've been on here understanding. Yes, darling. How are you, Miss?
Okay.
Yes, baby.
Nice to meet you. First of all,
Nice to meet you
page
too.
about? What is your page
Yeah,
about?
nice to meet you.
I have a reaction page. And I basically do commentary on things that's going on. I'm a funny person. I've been with Storm for a while. I was with Tommy Williams, Wendy Williams' brother. I know Wendy. I know a lot of things. A real Wendy, okay? I've been a lot. I've been around. So,
Did
and
you
this
say you
person,
know the Bill Wendy? Hold on. You said you know the Bill
yes,
Wendy Williams?
yes, I know her, and we had a lot of interaction. I know a lot of celebrities, and I know a lot of tea too. So some things I'll be quiet about, but
Wow.
some things I know. But this person, I don't know what vibe to take them on. One day on, if you don't mind, a Hood Life Chronicles panel. I thought we were going to get into it. I don't know if you know the T2 person, the AT2, but
Yeah, I know
when I
AT. I love
yeah, when I
AT.
came up on the panel, I thought we were going to have problems a couple of months back, but we actually were vibing when me and one of my sisters were, not having a misunderstanding, and everything was all good. But then now that we've gotten back together and we don't associate with that person anymore, now it's, oh, if there's no disruption or there's no discord with the contenders, us regurgitators are going to just be, striking people and flagging people, and they can't take their own energy, but they can dox people, they can put up people's children
Okay, let's
pictures.
talk about this energy. Let me stop you right there about energy. This is the reason why I was talking to Queen Tulsa, because I want her energy to stay pure. I want her energy to stay happy. I want her to continue to help the young people that are trans, the young people that are not trans, to know how to treat a trans. I want her to have a purpose, and I want her to be respected when she comes to panels. So that's why I'm just trying to talk to my sister, because I don't want to see her burn no more bridges. I don't want to see her mad with a YouTuber that got 500,000 subscribers, and she needs to reach those 500,000 people because her voice needs to be heard.
I understand that, and that's what I think everybody needs to have fun. Yeah.
Landon.
Miss Barbara, can I help you out with something?
Yes, baby.
Well,
1 second. I'm landing.
Okay.
She is representing a community of people. So when I see Queen Tulsa, this is why I gravitated to. I came over when I found out she had a page. I subscribed to her. I couldn't wait to see. And then when I seen what was coming out, I'm like, oh no, we gotta have a talk. Okay, help me out, Tulsa. What you got to say?
Okay, so I actually have my own show on the Lituation Network, and it's women empowerment, and it's pretty much my mission is to bring all women together. Now, I do want to say this. A lot of people don't know that I'm doing things in the community, and I'm on other networks here on YouTube and building a fan base for myself and for the network. They're so busy peddling around to look for something negative about me. It's like things are just too good to be true to somebody. And if they want to go ahead and research and take their time out to despise me and just try to come at me, try to bring me down, I just dismiss it. It's like a disposable paper towel. I dry my hands with it and I throw it in the trash. And so I protect my energy and I protect my peace. And so that's just where I am.
Okay, now you see how you said you have women empowerment, but you have it on that panel. I suggest you find a stronger panel to promote your situation with, not a burning bridge, because who's gonna go over there and see it? I didn't even know.
I have viewers, and actually it's a great idea. I'll actually host an after party on my channel going forward.
Yeah. Let's get busy with that. I want to see Jag on her own channel telling people about the goodness, what contracts to sign, what contracts not to sign, what producers to deal with, in her opinion, and what producers not to deal with. Giving out singing lessons, how to write a song.
Well,
I want to see all of these good things come out.
Let me help you.
When you are dealing with a platform, but hold on, when you're dealing with a platform and people know they're going to be insulted, they can't voice their opinion, they're going to have to kiss ass, nobody's going to go to that channel.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Let me ask you something. I want to know what's the problem.
Has not charged me for anything. I have not paid any money for my
Wait,
mentorship.
hold on. What did you
And
say?
Jag is
Please, Tulsa, hold
actually,
on. Start all over again, Tulsa. What did you say?
I said, yeah, what was I saying? I said, Jag is actually in the process of revamping herself. It's just this woman has encountered an alleged womanizer, and people only look at the content that is out. You know, yes, she's married to him. He tried to go around and say that they weren't married. You know, he stole from her
Exactly.
mom.
Did you
You know
see
what
the
I'm saying?
video I made about him? Did you see the
Yeah,
video I made about?
but did
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did you know that he stole from her mom? Like
Oh yeah,
took
he
the
could go to
money.
jail for that. Let me
Yeah,
explain
that's
this.
elder abuse.
That
And
money,
so
Jag money, he can't go to jail for, but her money,
her money,
her
yeah,
brother money,
yeah,
he could go to jail
yeah.
for that.
Okay, I have a question, lady. Did y'all know that she was receiving money from her father and her mother's benefits? So I'm trying to figure out, and before they were married and together, Jaguar was taking money from her mother when Tasha K did the interview. So how do you ladies feel about that?
Okay, but
Let me
okay,
just say this. Let me
because that's
clarify some
hold on.
things.
Let me answer. Then you can answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Because let me just tell you like this. That's her and her mother damn business. She's her mother. What do you call it? Payee. And her
Power of
mother,
Not voluntarily. Not voluntarily. There's ways around. You know, a lot of families. Let's be real, ladies. A lot of families scheme and do all kind of things. I'm sure you guys are not
okay,
Well,
but
4
let me
years
tell
old.
you
You don't
something.
know.
Right now, her and her mother is getting along very fine.
Okay,
And her mother
if that's
is
what you want to
okay.
say, if that's what you want to believe. But I have one
Okay,
question before I
so let
leave the
me clear
panel.
up something.
I'm
Hold
sorry,
on, wait.
before
No,
you
no, no.
I
see
want to say, did I get a chance to
I'm
answer the question?
gonna ask
No,
something because I'm gonna
bitch.
drop down real
Stay here.
quick.
You don't
Oh,
gotta,
okay.
you don't gotta rush. Don't leave.
Okay.
We want to hear what you got to say. But hear what
Okay.
you
Well,
got to
can
say.
you please tell her to me, to let me have a little bit of say? I mean, she's been going on and on
Let you
promoting this
have,
and that. You know.
well,
Hey,
Tulsa, let's
I
hear what
congratulations
you
to
got
all
didn't
to
your
get a
say.
chance to
endeavors.
answer the
See, I'm not a
question.
hater like your crew, like I said. But anyway,
Can I
Queen
answer the
Barbara,
question before
I
you
would like
guys
to
move
know
on, Miss Barbara?
Okay,
what's your, I would like to know what
K-Biz.
your take
I
on
want to hear
hearing
what
her.
you got. Hold on, K-Biz, 1 second. I want to hear what you got to say. Let me hear what Tulsa's saying, and then you go. So I
Okay,
have.
go ahead, because she goes on
Okay,
and on. I don't want to forget.
Okay,
thank you
yeah,
so
I don't.
much.
Yeah, go ahead, Tulsa.
So Jaguar's mom is safe and sound. Jaguar, while she was away, Legina was taking care of her. So
Yeah,
Legina
so
is
that's
now
why
her mom's
Oh,
caretaker. And so, you know, it's
my God.
interesting that people that are committed to misunderstanding someone will always react in the way that this young lady is. And so for the people
Exactly,
that
K-Biz. Haven't you met a friend? Hold on, let me talk to K-Biz. Haven't you met someone and made friends in one day, or met someone that you wanted to be a friend with? Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with Jaguar and that girl being friends? I want to know. Why y'all got
Well, number one, she's lying, saying she's Aaliyah R. Kelly's daughter. Number one, if Aaliyah's family really wanted to end this girl, she could, because this girl was banned from TikTok. Sean went and got her and promoted her to YouTube, knowing she has mental issues, which a lot of people have mental issues. Let's be clear. Peaches, pastors,
right?
celebrities, and everything. See, I'm a real bitch, and I don't give a damn, because I would tell a preacher, pastor, just as well as I would tell Clive Davis and Miss Honeycombs, okay, who Jaguar likes to attack. Jaguar is a person such as Queen
Yes,
Tulsa and
everybody attack those demons. And
I
let me
mean, she
tell you
can attack
something.
them, but when they end her, you know, then what are you guys
But I
gonna
have
say?
got a blood of Jesus on that. We're not gonna claim that.
Well, I'm just
We're
listen. I'm
not
just
gonna
being
claim that nowhere.
hypothetical. I'm not
Let me tell
saying
you something.
was
anything, but
Oh yeah,
listen,
Miss
let me
people
have
have
a
been ended
conversation with you,
for
baby.
less. Okay,
Let
the
me have a
things that she
Barbara.
said.
conversation with you. Let me have a conversation with you. Let me explain something to you. As a mother, I have a daughter that's a songwriter, and she's very talented. As a young woman, I worked for a chef called Chef Jan. She worked for the beautiful Damon Dash. He's beautiful, but the people that was with him, like Jay-Z and others, disgusting. I know.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
That guy, I'm telling you what I seen with my own eyes.
Honey, I know a lot of things about it. I know a lot of things about it, but
Okay, I'm trying to make a complete sentence. I let you make one, let me make one. I'm
go
telling
ahead.
you what I know and witnessed with my own eyes. Okay?
Mhm.
that industry had to be exposed because they was corrupting so many of our youth. The rap game had most of our black women sucking and doing all kinds of abomination. Do you understand me? In order to be successful. That's disgusting. I wanted them then to be exposed for that garbage. I've seen, and when you cater these parties, men slipping drinks and women's stuff. Damon Dash wasn't attached to none of that bullshit. He's the best. He's the best. Damon Dash is the best. But the rest of them are pure garbage and pure evil and don't care nothing about their generation. So when I seen that strong black woman exposing these demonic demons, I was happy for that. Happy for that. And she didn't lose no credibility with me because I know what she was saying was the truth. Now you were saying what bad?
I was saying that, yes, it's a way you do it. I've been exposing them for years, and I started with Wendy Williams, okay? And I'm actually going to get Kevin's ass, too, because me and him had an affair before Wendy Williams was even thought of, okay? And they took all of my... Okay, they took all of my shit, and the reason why she had the Wendy Williams experience, okay, how you doing, was because of me, okay, because I can name a few actors, comedians, and a lot of motherfuckers that get down, get around, turn around, and jump around, okay? Okay, from thugs to press to everybody, okay? Because there's a lot of things that I've seen.
She stole how you doing from somebody?
How you doing? Yes, she stole it from the one you're talking to. Okay, so I'm the backbone behind the shit. But okay, but there's a lot of shit. It's just the way that Jaguar did it, not that she did it. Because this shit was going to be exposed, whether she did it, her granddaughter, and maybe never.
May I say something, Miss Barbara?
Beautiful. She got 1 million views. So
she only views in, but see, she had the view. I mean, she took the spotlight was on when she was on with Storm and this that. Let me explain something to you. I was supposed to first interview with Tasha K about Kevin Hunter a while ago, a couple of years ago, like 2018, whatever. Because I've been homeless and it's been a lot of shit. But I wasn't able to get the phone to have all the pictures in it and everything. So I ended up interviewing with Toxic Diamond, who was at the time Tasha K's, they didn't like each other, whatever was going on. Now, if y'all talking about women's empowerment, which is confusing to me with this young lady down here, how can you hate on her TV, who's just reacting and doing the same shit that everybody else is covering, but then you and her have issues with her?
I want to answer that question.
Are y'all gonna let me answer? Can I?
Oh my gosh! You see,
I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is the thing.
Question we want to answer. You now, Queen Tulsa, you answer that question.
Okay, so this is the thing. It started off with let's get Legina home, right? It started off with Legina, and then it just escalated to something big to where it's it turned into calling the restaurants that they were at. This is a grown woman. This is not a little girl. This woman was on the official King Payne's channel, and I asked her, I broke in there and did an interview because the girl was in the car with Jag and Goomba. I said, how are you? Are you there? Are you being held against your will? She says, no, I want to be here. And so when she kept confessing that she wanted to be there, and now we know that she's a caretaker for Jag's mom. Jag's mom liked this woman. So the woman Jag is just out here trying to help people.
Mute the TV. Somebody got to mute their TV.
I don't have a TV. I don't have anything on.
Okay, who got the TV on?
Oh, it's Kaylee. No, it's Kaylee.
That's not me. I don't have a TV. I don't have anything on. I don't know.
So she can.
But can you mute me, Miss Barbara? Because I tried to mute, but tried to be respectful, but I don't know how to mute. But I think we're just gonna disagree. Agree to disagree. Yeah, we're just gonna agree to disagree.
At the end of the day, they turned it into something more than what it was.
So what are you saying that just because Sierra was singled out?
Answering, let Queen Tulsa talk. She was telling us, and then we're gonna hear. I want you to hear what I got to say about it because you asked us a question. We want to answer.
Yeah,
So just give
because
us time.
what it started out was let's get Legina home, and then it turned into something toxic and something just very dangerous. I mean, the police were being called. They had 24-hour panels. I mean, they had these dark people over there saying things. It was a lie. It was a lie. This is a black woman. You come from a black woman. You know what I'm saying? We all are, we all come from the same, but it's like everybody was getting a kick out of calling the police and stuff. This is not the time nor the place to be calling the police on anybody black. Wrong climate. Wrong climate. Get your content elsewhere. So if people are putting out that type of content, yes, I am getting the fuck away from you.
Exactly.
And you're a cancer to the community.
You got to hear me out, and then you can interrupt. Because I want to say mine's with peace, like you said. Are you finished, girl? You got any more to say?
Yeah, I got it out, my sister. Thank you.
I want to get it out of minds. Let me explain something to you. The government diagnosed me manic depressive, bipolar, schizophrenic, and don't forget nigga and crackhead and all the rest of the bullshit. Okay? That bitch would have been deleted fucking with me. And that's straight up. I'm not even exaggerating. I already told her that. Because you can't go messing with people with a mental illness like that for hours and hours and hours. You're going to put them in a manic state. And that's what I got to say about that. And I told them that on that panel. I said, like, yo, you giving up information trying to get them deleted on the highway by police. The police officer said, well, we can't do nothing about that, but do you see any guns? Well, I can find a gun. I got it on video. I got a gun on video. I can find it. Why? So they could say, when we stop this lady, we could just shoot them because we already know they armed. As soon as they would have been stopped, they gave the police officers a right to kill them. And then the woman gonna start crying when I pointed that out to her. Well, what you would have did if Jaguar would have did me, I would have said, that dumb beast should have left her alone. She wouldn't be deleted. That's what I would be saying over your grave if the Jaguar would have deleted you for aggravating her like that. That's ridiculous. 24 hours over and over. It was making me manic. It was disgusting. So I made a video on her ass and I told her how I felt. And I meant every word. We got Eleanor Bunkers, remember?
Wrong climate. Get your content elsewhere. So if people are putting out that type of content, yes, I am getting the fuck away from you.
Exactly.
And you're a cancer to the community.
You got to hear me out, and then you can interrupt. Because I want to say mine's with peace, like you said. Are you finished, girl? You got any more to say?
Yeah, I got it out, my sister. Thank you.
I want to get it out of mind. Let me explain something to you. The government diagnosed me manic depressive, bipolar, schizophrenic, and don't forget nigga and crackhead and all the rest of the bullshit. Okay? That bitch would have been deleted fucking with me. And that's straight up. I'm not even exaggerating. I already told her that. Because you can't go messing with people with a mental illness like that for hours and hours and hours. You're going to put them in a manic state. And that's what I got to say about that. And I told them that on that panel. I said, like, yo, you giving up information trying to get them deleted on the highway by police. The police officer said, well, we can't do nothing about that, but do you see any guns? Well, I can find a gun. I got it on video. I got a gun on video. I can find it. Why? So they could say, when we stop this lady, we could just shoot them because we already know they armed. As soon as they would have been stopped, they gave the police officers a right to kill them. And then the woman gonna start crying when I pointed that out to her. But what you would have did, if Jaguar would have did me, I would have said, that dumb beast should have left her alone. She wouldn't be deleted. That's what I would be saying over your grave if the Jaguar would have deleted you from aggravating her like that. That's ridiculous. 24 hours over and over. It was making me manic. It was making me manic. It was disgusting. So I made a video on her ass and I told her how I felt. And I meant every word.
But Queen Barbara, how many times do we hear stories of the police coming because somebody is in a mental state and they don't know how to deal with them, and then they get deleted?
Shot dead.
I mean,
That's right. Eleanor Bunkers. We got Eleanor Bunkers. Remember when the police officers, Eleanor Bunkers had a knife, not even a gun, a knife. And she was an elderly woman and they shot that woman dead. Look at the man that had a wallet, shot 40 times. Stop playing. You can't be stopped by police. Nobody messes with the New York police because it's not allegedly. You could take this damn page. I don't give a damn. They are assassins. They are assassins. Don't nobody play with the police. The police, in fact, the whole law enforcement apartment is not even.
That's the game.
Come to find out, the United States law.
Let's get into the People versus Sullivan. Opinion, April 1st, 1986, 102. Appeal from the Supreme Court. Okay. Bronx County, Vincent A. Vitale J. Stephen R. Carringer of Counsel, Mario Marola, District Attorney for Appellant, Bruce A. Simerty for Respondent. Per curiam, on October 29th, 1984, Eleanor Bumpers was pawed and unalived by Stephen Sullivan, a 19-year veteran of the police force, who had served for 14 years with the Emergency Service Unit, ESU, and who had been cited for distinguished service 18 times. On that date, the ESU had been summoned to provide backup assistance in the eviction of a confirmed emotionally disturbed person armed with a knife and possibly a lie thrower. Following presentment to a grand jury, defendant was indicted for manslaughter in the second degree in that he allegedly recklessly caused the death of another person. Penal Law 12515. This appeal is from a dismissal of the indictment on a finding at Supreme Court that the proof adduced was legally insufficient under the statute to sustain the manslaughter charge. The evidence before the grand jury was almost entirely undisputed, except as two aspects, namely the time interval between two shots and whether the descendant during that period continued to hold a butcher knife in her hand as she slashed and thrashed at two ESU officers who had been overcome by her. To fully appreciate the significance of the legal issue on this appeal, it is necessary to review in detail the underlying facts which led to the attempted eviction, the circumstances pertaining to the police entry into the apartment, and the events prior to the actual pawing. These have a direct bearing upon the question of whether, under the circumstances, defendant's actions amounted to gross recklessness under the appropriate statutory standard sufficient to impose criminal responsibility for manslaughter in the second degree. Eleanor Bumpers was a 66-year-old massive and obese woman, weighing approximately 275 pounds. She resided in an apartment 4A in the Sedgwick houses at 1551 University Avenue in the Bronx and had lived there since September 1982. It is undisputed that her April 1984 rent payment was late, and she went into arrears in 1984, in July 1984. Give me a second. Okay, give me a second. Where did we leave off at? Okay, so here, I'll just read this part over. Eleanor Bumpers was 66 years old, massive and obese woman weighing approximately 275 pounds. She resided in apartment 4A in the Sedgwick houses at 1551 University Avenue in the Bronx and had lived there since September 1982. It is undisputed that her April 1984 rent payment was late and she went into arrears in July 1984. By frequent communication and direct contact with Ms. Bumpers and her children, who lived elsewhere, several city employees then embarked upon a lengthy program to provide assistance with respect to the rent. Nevertheless, no rent was paid between July and October 1984. In July of 1984, the Housing Authority notified Ms. Bumpers in writing that payment would be required to avoid eviction. On July 18th, when this notification went unanswered, Housing Assistant Richard Wallach tried to serve a 3-day non-payment notice, but Ms. Bumpers would not open her door. Speaking through the door, she informed him that she was withholding rent because of certain maintenance problems. Subsequently, however, maintenance men were sent to her apartment, but she refused to allow them to inspect the premises to ascertain the needs for repairs. As a result, on August 8, 1984, a petition for eviction for non-payment of rent was served, and a warrant of eviction was finally issued on September the 6th. The eviction did not proceed, in part because of the continuing efforts by Housing Authority personnel to secure necessary financial and other assistance for Ms. Bumpers. More than 3 weeks after the order of eviction on September 28, 1984, she told Barry Carey, assistant housing manager, in a telephone conversation that she was unable to use a stove or bathroom and that she had withheld rent because people had come through the windows, the walls, and the floors, and it ripped her off. She hung up after telling him that she was paying her rent into court. The same day when Carrie and Walsh visited her and she repeated the need for such repairs, she greeted them at the door holding a large carving knife. During the conversation, she pointed at and threatened Walsh, proclaiming, "I'm going to get him." Subsequently, on October 11th, Miss Bumpers told Carrie she would admit maintenance personnel for the purpose of making repairs. When she accompanied the maintenance man to the apartment on October 12, 1984, she was again armed with the same large carving knife. Contrary to her complaints, the light switches did work, as did the stove. However, when the maintenance man opened the bathroom door, a lot of large flies streamed from the bathroom, and there was this horrible smell from cans of human excrement. When this was called to her attention, she claimed that Reagan and his people had done it. During this period, the efforts by the housing authority to secure payment of the rent extended beyond direct contact with Miss Bumpers, in that there were several attempts to communicate with her adult children, who, on this record, 104, demonstrated a complete lack of interest in their mother's plight and no desire or willingness to lend her assistance. On September 28, 1984, Carrie sent separate letters to Mary and Terry Bumpers, her daughters, requesting that they contact him by October 2nd regarding a matter of utmost importance involving their mother. The letter to Terry was returned with a postal notification, address unknown. But the correspondence to Mary Bumpers was in fact delivered, since on October 2nd, 1984, Mary called Carrie, claimed she knew nothing about the contemplated eviction, stated that she would speak to her mother and communicate with either Walsh or Carrie. Thereafter, she called neither and, in fact, apparently did nothing further. In addition to these efforts by Housing Authority personnel, there were several attempts by the City Department of Social Services to assist her. A departmental casement worker, Herman Ruiz, called Ms. Bumpers on October 12, 1984, during which conversation she told him she had paid the rent, repairs were to be made by the authority, and then, after calling Ruiz stupid, hung up. On October 15, Ruiz personally tried to visit her at the apartment, but she would not open the door, insisting that she had paid the rent. There were also several further attempts to ascertain Terry Bumpers' whereabouts, and numerous calls were made to Mary Bumpers. On October 24th, 1984, Ruiz went to Mary's residence, and after trying the apartment door, left a letter in her mailbox urging that she was Eleanor's daughter. It was very important to hear from her as soon as possible, and advising that this was an emergency. Thereafter, on the same day, he visited Miss Bumpers, told her that the agency wished to assist her to avoid an eviction, which was scheduled on October 29th, 1984 at 9 a.m., and gave her a letter to that effect. When he returned to his office, he requested that a psychiatric examination of Miss Bumpers be held. As a result, on October 25th, 1984, Ruiz accompanied a psychiatrist, Dr. Robert John, to evaluate Miss Bumpers. When she admitted the psychiatrist to the apartment, she was again carrying a kitchen knife in her right hand. She told him that her children had been killed by Reagan and Castro, who lived in the building, and that the people next door wanted her apartment to use as a whorehouse. During the interview, Ruiz asked her about Terry and Mary and whether they would help her, to which she responded, "You know how they are." Doctor concluded, "Why? You know how they are." Dr. John concluded that she had impaired judgment and was unable to manage her own affairs. In his opinion, she suffered from delusions and hallucinations, was psychotic, and in need of medical help. While his opinion was that her attachment to the knife was a security device. He believed that if one were to enter the apartment to disarm her, she would regard it as a threat and would use the knife in defense. As a result, it was decided that she should be hospitalized for treatment after her eviction. Insomuch as all attempts to offer her assistance with respect to the rent arrearages were met by Miss Bumper's hostility and opposition on a complete lack of cooperation. Are you guys enjoying the content? Let me know if you're enjoying the content, please. Please, if you can, send me a cash app. we're going to go on a quick commercial break. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much for supporting Queen Tulsa, the show, whether it's a like, a share, a subscribe, a Cash App, a PayPal, or a Zelle. Thank you for coming by and watching the show. And this is your commercial for being acknowledged for just being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, who would be watching? Thank you for tuning in. All right. Let's see. So we'll keep going. Okay. All right. It's so much um, as all attempts to offer her assistance with respect to the marriage. Okay, where did I leave off at? Okay, so it was cooperation on the part of her family. The eviction was scheduled for October 29th, 1984 at 9 a.m. At the time, the arrearages were for a period in excess of 4 months. On the date of eviction, in addition to the city marshal, there were many other people's hold on. There were many other people present, consisting of the housing project manager, Walsh, Ruiz, and another case worker from the Department of Social Services, John McCausland, two emergency medical service technicians, Gregory Zeke and Paul Smith, a housing authority maintenance man, and moving man. In accordance with standard procedure, two city housing oh, oh, two city housing authority police officers, Colombo and Carrasquillo, were present, were furnished with the psychiatric evaluation and were told by Walsh that Ms. Bumpers was emotionally disturbed, that it would be a messy job since she was violent and she was extremely large and she always carried a knife. Before went upstairs, they had radioed for backup assistance reporting a violent EDP, emotionally disturbed person, and waited for New York City police officers Boyce and Medina to arrive. On arriving at the fourth floor, one of the housing authority policemen, Calasquillo, was the first to approach the apartment. He knocked on the door, identified himself as a housing authority policeman, and told her she should open the door, that they would like to speak to her. She screamed that if they came in, she would unalive them, adding, "I've got some shit for your ass." Although they were repeated requests imploring her to open the door, she did not comply. The officers pled to gain admittance, were completely unsuccessful, and were met by her continuing barrage of threats and abusive language. A neighbor on the same floor, Florence Peaks, also tried unsuccessfully to persuade her to cooperate. When one of the officers told her that they would have to remove the lock and come in, she screamed that if they did, she would unalive them all. At this point, it was decided that radio for ESU assistance, which, according to the patrol guide, is the standard operating procedure to be followed when confronted by a potentially dangerous person barricaded inside an apartment. According to Officer Medina, she was arrogant and sounded very violent. The officers also noticed a strong odor coming from the apartment, which they described as an arcade in the hallway, smelling like insecticide. The Police Emergency Service Unit is a distinguished unit of volunteers 238 officers, compromising 238 officers. It is the heavy weapons unit of the police department, which responds to calls involving violent, emotionally disturbed persons, those barricaded within a particular location, and hostile situations. ESU officers are carefully selected and must be recommended for their assignment by commanding a superior by commanding or superior officer based upon qualifications which include 3 years police experience and absolutely good reputation, solid stability, and adaptation to functions involving mechanical manipulations. They receive extensive specialized training and methods to contain disturbed persons and are frequently called to respond to situations involving threats to jump from bridges, drownings, and attacks by vicious animals. They also render assistance in disasters, and the SU officers, who are all emergency medical technicians, are trained in the use of oxygen and resuscitation equipment. There was extensive testimony before the grand jury as to the several available alternative procedures set forth in the ESU manual, particularly with respect to disturbed persons. ESU's commanding officer, Deputy Inspector John Lynch, testified that tear gas was not recommended for use with such persons, but in fact was to be avoided since it can make them more violent and exacerbate the situation. The police department had also found various problems associated with its use, especially for those with lung problems such as emphysema. In addition, certain types of tear gas will result, result in fires, and in a confined area like an apartment building could have an impact upon other tenants in adjacent apartments since the gas can spread through air conditioning and central heating systems. While officers are authorized to use mace in self defense or to subdue a person, manufacturers advise that it can agitate persons who are either mentally disturbed, deranged, or under the influence of drugs or intoxicants. Thus, the use of mace may be counterproductive as to tranquilizers established. Police policy precludes the use of such drugs on human beings, nor has the department had nor has the department been authorized to use a taser, which is a flashlight-like device which transmits a low amperage charge into the nervous system, resulting in muscular spasm which can disorient a person. Lynch stated that although the device was introduced in 1971, there has been great concern about the impact on people with heart problems, and its use has been outlawed in this state. In certain circumstances, the ESU does employ various types of nets, primarily for jumpers, but there are clear limitations which prevent their use in an enclosed area such as an apartment because of the low ceilings. The primary standard response with respect to emotionally disturbed persons is the use of an EDP bar, an 8-foot pipe fashioned into a shaft with a U-shaped fork to pin an armed subject against the wall. The main objective is to take the person into custody without harm, while at the same time preventing injury to the officers. The guidelines also require that a 12 gauge pump action shotgun be deployed at the rear as a safeguard or backup. Officers are explicitly instructed and authorized to POW only in an absolute emergency when somebody's life or the life of the officer is in immediate jeopardy. The department prohibits the firing of a warning shot, and officers are directed to POW at the body mass or chest area, not at extremities, so that the POW will be most effective in stopping the threatening person. Oh wow, this is like a whole book. Okay, so here we'll go to 111 where I'm coming up on 108. Thus, so to subdue in certain emotionally disturbed person. The indicated front line of approach consists of the police carrying plastic shields, manipulating an EPD bar to maintain a sufficiently safe distance, and to immobilize and pin the subject against the wall or knock him down, with standard operating procedure requiring the deployment of a POW gun as an emergency backup to protect the lives of the officers or others. The ESU manual on operational policies and tactics is instructive in clearly setting forth and warning of the dangers associated with the pursuit and capture of dangerous psychotics, warning that all mentally disturbed persons are potentially dangerous. The pursuit and capture of psychotics who display vexing unpredictability and an eerie potential for violence can be especially menacing for members of the emergency service unit. Many have been injured over the years answering calls to assist precinct personnel in subduing ex mental patients and other disturbed persons who go suddenly and explicitly berserk and threaten harm to themselves or others. The lack of conscious criminal intent in most psycho cases is small consolation when the crazed individuals are tough and burly and brandish weapons. Humane considerations, however, take precedence, and ESU personnel shun the use of weapons to engage in less lethal hand to hand combat, often risking serious injury to themselves. Emphasis added. On October 29, 1984, ESU officers Elter and Paulson responded to a radio dispatch of a violent EDP at 1551 University Avenue. They arrived at about 9:40 a.m. and went upstairs to the fourth floor carrying the tools needed to gain entry to the apartment. They were advised by the housing authority officers that there was an emotionally disturbed woman inside, that she was about 67 years of age, very large, usually brandishing a knife, and possibly could be cooking some lie. Elter knocked and identified himself as a police officer and asked descendant to open the door so that they could talk to her. If she did not, he stated they would remove the lock. Numerous other attempts to persuade Miss Bumpers to open the door were similarly unsuccessful. Paulson returned to the ESU truck, secured an EDP bar, a plastic shield, and other equipment, and went back to the fourth floor, went to the ESU officers again, attempted to convince Miss Bumpers to open the door. She yelled, "Don't come in! Somebody's going to get hurt!" Paulson then punched out the top lock on the door, and he and Elter looked inside through the hole, noticing a cloudy, foggy type of atmosphere and smelling some type of caustic liquid. Both saw Miss Bumper standing behind the door, holding a butcher's knife in her hand, pointed upwards. They implored her to drop the knife and open the door, and advised if she refused that they would have to force entry. When she again responded that if anyone came in, he would get hurt, it was decided to call for backup assistance. During the exchange, Housing Officer Colombo had taken the strap from his nightstick and wrapped it around the doorknob to keep her from opening it and charging out. While they waited for the backup unit to respond, Paulson again observed his bumpers through the hole in the door, still holding the 10-inch butcher's knife in her right hand, with the blade up at a 45-degree angle. Paulson used his radio to transmit confirmation that the EDP was armed with a knife and he had requested a POW situation and as additional backup equipment. In addition to gas masks, the other housing policemen Carrasquillo confirmed that he had also observed Miss Bumper standing behind the door with a knife in her hand and that the door odor smelled like lye. The ESU backup units arrived moments later. Officers Adams and Tedeschi had responded to a radio transmission of an emotionally disturbed person barricaded in an apartment armed with a knife and possibly cooking lye. Defendant ESU Officer Sullivan responded to the same dispatch. Elter radioed them from upstairs to bring a shotgun, gas mask, protective vest, and a plastic shield. Adams, Tedeschi, and Sullivan went inside the building with Tedeschi taking the shotgun from his vehicle. In the elevator, Tedeschi noticed that his shoelace was untied, and when he bent down to tie it, he handed the shotgun to Sullivan, who retained it in his possession. The fourth floor hallway was crowded with people. The arriving ESU officers were advised that there was an elderly female inside, armed with a knife and a case of with a case of throwing lye. After Adams and Tedeschi looked through the hole in the door, Adams saw Miss Bumper standing behind the door, still holding a knife in her right hand. He tried to talk to her, pleading with her to open up the door and come out. That he wanted to talk to her and did not want to hurt her. Although he said this over and over again, there was no response. Tedeschi similarly tried to communicate with her, but to no avail. They noticed a mist or vapor in the living room and noticed a strong chemical smell, which smelled like insecticide. Sullivan also looked in and observed a very thick haze and an odor, which he said smelled like bug or roach spray. Subsequently, and before any action has been taken, Yeshu Sergeant Musak arrived on the scene, which he described as a very tense situation. The ESU officers were taking turns looking through the opening in the door and they attempting to engage Miss Bumper into some dialogue with no success. They discussed at some length a variety of alternatives to be followed. One method, which was considered and rejected, was to open the door quickly, pinning Miss Bumpers between the door and the back wall. This was rejected because the limited space available was insufficient to allow them to get in quickly and subdue her. There was a possibility of taking the door off the hinges. When it was noticed that Miss Bumpers had finally left her position behind the door and moved to the living room away from the kitchen, it was decided that now was an opportune time to enter the apartment and restrain her. An immediate plan was devised. The officers were equipped with gas masks and bulletproof vests. Elter was assigned to carry the EDP bar, Adams and Tedeschi to carry the plastic shields, and according to Sergeant Masak, Sullivan had the rather grim assignment. If all else failed, he would have to use the shotgun to stop Miss Bumpers from seriously injuring one of the police officers. Sullivan was the only one not equipped with a gas mask or goggles, since this would impair his vision. Elter, equipped with the EDP bar, entered first, followed by Adams and Tedeschi, carrying the plastic shields, and then by Sullivan, whose job as backup was to protect three officers. Paulson was holding a rope to secure the door once it was opened. Sergeant Masak remained at the doorway and did not enter the apartment until after the fatal shot. At the time the officers entered the apartment, Miss Bumpers was in the living room, sitting on a stool. She still had a large butcher's knife with a 10-inch blade in her hand. As Elter approached, she stood up and came toward him. He placed a U-bar around her midsection to block her, and she started slashing back and forth with the knife. According to Elter, she was hacking at him with the knife, hitting the bar. Adams, who had the shield in a raised position, tried to block her approach since Elter had no protection other than the EDP bar. She jabbed into Adam's shield, taking 4 or 5 slashes across it, about head level. This allowed Elter to get the U bar into the area of her stomach and attempt to pin her against the wall. It did not stop her, and undaunted, she continued moving closer. Elter, holding the bar, backed up and lost his footing, enabling Miss Bumper with her left hand to swipe the bar almost completely to the floor. When Adams tried to hit her right hand with the shield, she slashed at him violently, causing him to falter, step back, and fall down at the same time. The police officers testified that she had placed Adams in a position where it appeared that she was coming over the top of the shield, and he had to go down almost on one knee. With the shield over his head, leaning back, Elter, who had somewhat recovered again, pushed at her with the bar, and Tedeschi moved in to help. However, Elter faltered again as she pushed the bar to the side and started approaching and striking at Elter with the knife. He lost his balance and fell forward. All right, guys, so we have come to page 111. We will come back tomorrow. Oh, y'all had wrote in the chat. Jaguar has been talking about the industry 20 years ago. That's how I came across her. What? Trying to be respectful. Are you kidding? Who the hell is this troll? Right. So we left off at 111. If you guys like the read along, I'll go ahead and do a part 2, and we will see how the universe works. Mm, mm, mm. So we'll do here. Let me give you guys a picture of Miss Bumpers. She was a beautiful woman. And, when we talk about mental health, it's really serious. You don't know what type of state of mind somebody is in. Look at this beautiful woman. It just bothers me when people misuse the police. Eleanor Bumpers was shot by the New York Police Department on October 29th, 1984. Eleanor was experiencing many mental health challenges, and when the police came to enforce a city-ordered eviction, a struggle ensued that left her unalive. At the time, Eleanor was a disabled senior citizen struggling severely with mental health issues. Women's History Month. Ayanna Stanley Jones. In 2010, while filming the first 48, a Detroit SWAT team kicked open the door and threw in a flashbang grenade into Ayanna Stanley Jones' family home. Within seconds and without warning, the team stormed the house and fired one shot that fatally killed Ayanna, who was sleeping on the couch. The officers had stormed the wrong apartment. The officer who killed her was cleared of all charges. Tanisha Anderson. While Tanisha Anderson was experiencing a mental health crisis, her family called 911 seeking assistance. Cleveland police officers put Tanisha in a prone position on the ground. That was the trigger for her death. One officer involved was only suspended for 10 days without pay, while one only received a written warning. Kayla Moore. In 2013, when police were called to Kayla Moore's home to perform a wellness check, she was experiencing a mental health crisis. Instead of administering care, they misgendered her and forcibly restrained her. Despite Kayla's sudden inactivity, she remained restrained until she died. As a Black trans woman, Kayla lived at very vulnerable intersections. When she should have been met with care and understanding, she was met with violence. Rekia Boyd was hanging with her friends in Douglas Park when they were approached by a Chicago police officer. After a verbal altercation with Rekia's friends, the officer fired shots at the group, fatally striking Rekia in her head. The officer was cleared of all charges and retired before he could be fired 3 years after the incident. Be mindful of what we are doing. When we know better, we do better. On that note, until next time, so long.
Never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say nah. Oh nah. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Want you to hear me screaming, happy breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you get by. I can get it to you right, baby. I can be real good. We don't get these feelings. Hey, I need some love.